Broadcasting 24/7.
24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika, nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika, nakupenda sana.
Ooh, ladies and gentlemen, you know Africa, nakupenda sana yo, Africa. You know, when you hear that sound, it's that time of the week where you have a date with me, Dr. HLAMI NGWENYA. Here is the African experience. You know, normally I'm with my co-host, AVENTINA MABUNDA, but tonight she's not around, ufambila ilavela information. But tonight, I have a guest co-host. That is, Pastor Strike. Pastor Strike, good evening.
Good evening, Dr. HLAMI. Good evening, and to our viewers and listeners of Bold Moves Radio and the African Experience specifically.
Thank you so much for being our guest, co-host, tonight. And the reason why I called you is because the person that we are profiling tonight, is the person that you probably speak, the same language, you are in the same, media spaces and all that. I said, let me just bring you on board so that, we can share this platform. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a platform where we talk everything beautiful about Africa. We talk about, her people. We celebrate everybody. Tonight, we have a powerhouse. We don't disappoint on this show. You might have seen, on our Facebook, platforms and other social media platforms, you already know who our guest for tonight is. It's none other than Fumani Shilubana. Mr. Fumani, welcome to the African Experience. And good evening.
And thanks for having me, and thanks for this moment.
Oh, I love it. Whenever we talk to you, whenever we see you on Facebook, you are one person who's always raising the flag of us, Tsonga. So whenever I talk to you, I feel so proud to be a Tsonga person or a Tsonga woman. And we will get to know more about that. And your name, Fumani, is very, very Tsonga. Maybe I know our listeners are really waiting to hear what you have to share with us tonight. Who is Fumani in the nutshell?
Fumani first born in Satmuni. Second born at Lifa. Shilubana. Eventually grew up finding my feet, and I'm now a director and actor, but most importantly, I'm a father of 3 kids, and I am sure of it.
I like that, Pastor Strike. Did you hear that?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Yes.
No, I like it. I like you say you are sure of it. I like it because kuna this saying yaku, the only person who's 100% sure kubana in one side. But I like it. That you're sure of it. Yeah. Yeah. Mara, then the name Fumani, especially for people who might not be Tsonga speaking, they might not understand. What is the meaning of the name Fumani? And what does it mean for you as a person?
Okay, the meaning, of course, it means, but one of course, as if everyone knows, as you mentioned, Fumani means prosper. It means, for me, okay, here's how I did with my name. It means prosper, but it can also mean rule. So for me, what it means one should try by all means to live with what the name says, and so that it doesn't only live for me, but it also generates for my kids going forward.
And it can also even mean kufuma, like to be rich, and perhaps to be rich. Yes, to be rich not only on monetary terms, but to be rich. And that's how we know you. You are so rich. You are rich. And this is what we are like. We like about you, and we celebrate you. Pastor Strike, Miss Bonsa.
You know, I'm just scared because with my name Strike, it's not a name that I want to live up to. Because in fact, I've been asked several times, Pastor, Strike, what is that? But surely, Mr. Shilubana is very right, but Fumani, Kuri, you know, ibituleri unabela kaswaku, uri hanya ku nga ri wena ntsena kambe ni le ka vana ri vonaka, because hi vona rifuwo hi tindlela ta ku hambanahambana, even going up to the extent ya rifuwo ra ririmi, you know, how he's so passionate about
Mm,
ririmi ra Xitsonga. So truly, that's amazing.
mm. Yeah. While we are still on that, wanting to know who Fumani is, when we're preparing for this show, we got to, we stalk people, we go through their profiles and things like that. And I picked that you are actually a prince. Mabo, tell us a bit more about that. I know a lot of people know that you always say I'm a Tsonga prince or Tsonga gent, but you are actually a prince.
Sorry. Ngomkhonyana.
Mm.
Hilda.
As a father, like he said, you know, we're so blessed, Dr. HLAMI. We have Tsakani Mabasa with us, we have Onika Nkona with us, we have Mama Reliance Chikwambana with us, also we have Sis Busi Kumalo. These are some of the people that are with us on Facebook and also on YouTube. And of course, Pastor Joylene, you know, she's the first fan number one of the African Experience. Dr. Hlamia, but Fumani is back. Yes, but Fumani.
So Butfumana Babutisa Kori, he's a prince.
It's actually a very interesting story. I found out I'm a prince when I was 19.
Okay.
I stayed until Shilubana. It never clicked in my mind. Shilubana village. Not Shilubana, same thing. Because it never clicked. Because with family politics, somehow, someone, family, managed, which I find it to be very, very silly and very, very, very silly for a person to do such a thing. They managed to cut us from our grandfather. So the first time I met John, I met him after John Papa Cliff, which is my dad. I found out after my matric. My grandfather has been alive throughout these whole years. We've never met this man. So that's the first time I actually realized, wait, and Prince lives, it's not really in 1 hour, South of 7 Hansili. But man, was it Shilubana? His first wife, he had 2 kids that were born, which is Mhlaba, not Dudud. So Dudud Ubeleke John, Cliff Pukume. But I did not know all until I was 19.
Yeah.
It was so crazy. Ma'am?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
It was so amazing that one time this guy named Trevor, I ain't gonna a primary. Utama ataka me I denied it. Because that's not possible. And then we so that's how much, as I'm saying, family politics and things. I don't think family politics should involve Vana. Look, man, papa, Vana, means whatever that's happening, because it causes such a bad scar. Because I remember, look, John, I felt nothing. I felt nothing for him. I didn't know the man. It was later when I grew up, I actually sat and thought about Kuri. My goodness, so that man is me, and he passed away, and I felt nothing for him. Clearly, I've been denied a part of me by someone deciding to remove all of us from him. So as I'm saying, family has to, we need to go beyond ourselves when it comes to certain issues.
Yeah. So let me come to that, because when we look at your story and we look at your profile, you are such a family man. Did that experience influence how you want to be part of your children's life?
Yes, a lot. Completely, actually, I would like to you. So see, my dad, so I have a foundation called Father Figure. So we've got 4 types of fathers. We've got a father who is present. We've got a father who is not present at all. We've got a father who angako indluini mara angakona. That's there. And we've got a father who doesn't know anything with this. So I think my dad is the number 3 one, where he was there, he's present. Mara, we didn't have that kind of relationship. Yes, I can't blame him. It is the era that he grew up in. So all those things combined, they made me good enough money. When you have children, be friends with them. I'm friends with my 3 kids, but I make sure they are hey, papa. Like when my second born and Ganakati Suku, she buys the Shuku Shuku yes, look imani yes way. Shuku papa. You see, I make sure that it's still there. I'm working what at the metric now. He turned 18. So before he does other things, he's gonna come and work with me. So all I was saying to him, Chief, when we are at work, when you address me, don't address me as Papa. I'm say there. Yeah. You're gonna call me Papa in Tironi. It will create a thing that is not there, even though you meant well, but it might create Commander Zuku. Tell. Bye-bye.
As Papa, now he say Papa.
Yeah, no, so now he knows work. It's fair. Because why I'm saying that is because one thing I've realized here, we hierarchies. I'm talking about the generation. We tend to ignore we tend to ignore the importance of giving a hierarchy its due. Because if you don't do that, you end up whatever you want to do at the time that you want to do. And as consciousness, there's always something that you need to bow out, but fall under. So that's what I try to do with my kids. But at the same time, we are friends.
Yeah. No, that is actually very interesting, because what I'm learning from what you just said, iku hierarchy iba kona, mara friendship iba kona, mara people need to know their boundaries. Pastor Strike, I'm actually learning. So now,
No, that's beautiful, and I want to appreciate our viewers and our listeners. I see Pule Matadisa, I see also Joyce Tusaho. This is very important. But Fumani turned what was supposed to make him bitter, and it made him better. Because if I realized I'm a prince at age 19, and somehow because of family politics, I was deprived of that, and instead then you turn out to want to instill that sense of relationship to your children, so that they know that this is dad. They know, okay, dad now is is in an office, is in a business space. I think that is very, very much important. And it makes it also easy for us to be able to work with our children, because now they know, now I relate with my dad. Now I relate with my employer or my supervisor. So it's so amazing.
Yo, thank you so much. We're going to take a short commercial break. When we come back, we want to unpack about Fumani in the media industry. And Pata Strike, I want you to actually handle that one because you know how to speak, this media language. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We take a commercial break. When we come back, we continue to talk to our guest here, Fumani Shilubana. Let's take a commercial break.
Well, thanks our viewers and listeners, and you listening to the African Experience with our wonderful host, that's Dr. HLAMI, and of course they go together with AVENTINA. I'm just a guest presenter, and I just appreciate the opportunity because I'm here to learn, more especially when we talk to Fumani Shilubana, a man who honestly has a wealth of information and knowledge. But Fumani, you have such a significant footprint in media and in art industry. Where did it all start?
Sisungule in 2000, I think. So I'm the Pretoria, Malembela, I'm the Pretoria Tech.
Yes.
I'm the
Pretoria Tech.
I'm the Pretoria Tech. So I was doing industrial engineering after I left the university. I was doing BSc in agriculture. Came to Pretoria to do industrial engineering. So at the end of that year, Nimuka, I got some competition of sort. It's an animal. They're looking for models to go to Italy. I'm like, Ngena. And I joined that thing. I was in town just for my own things, but I ended up joining that thing. I modeled, they chose me to be one of the 10 people to come and compete. Queenie La Centurion. Came to Centurion, we competed. They also took me to be the 10, because about 10 boys, 10 girls to go to Italy. So I was chosen in that group as well. One day, look, say, because what, okay, we choose you, here's the package, this is what must happen, but you must get a sponsorship. So here's for mine, I'm busy looking for sponsorships. One day, I'm walking past the State Theatre, and I walked in the building. And I went to the reception, I'm like, Minjani, I'm looking for a place of act. Again, what happened, one thing I always do, I follow my instinct. I follow my instinct. I believe that's the one voice that no one shouldn't ignore. So I've listened to my instinct. I walked inside the building. That lady at reception, Bagi Ausana, I come talk to this lady. There was a lady at the reception, Bagi Irene Man. Irene, you know what? I wrote a play. You suit the role perfectly. But you need to come and join us from Monday. At the end of the year, local play very nation we're gonna show this play. You have some sort of trade. I shop. I go to Friday. I took a taxi or a bus, I don't know. I went home, you get money. Now cash call my camera. Now this time. I register for drama. Okay, we sure that the rest of us end. Look, I'm sure, mommy. Remember, there's doubts. This is my second time dropping out. My mother gave me the money. I'll sort it out myself. I came back to Victoria. I paid at the State Theatre. I worked on a modern arts company. That's where I first got my training at drama. End of that year, indeed, I got that role, formed it, and then I got some audition. I did another play. Guys, during that play, the guy who mentored me, watching the play as well. I go, whoa, this boy is such a horrible actor, but I love his energy. Even then, I'm a recruiter into his program. So if you try Paul Khod about Mabana in Northwest, so they came to Victoria to continue the training program. I joined that program. That's where I learned this craft. For 4 years, I spent state theater training. Eventually 4 years later, and what they would always do, they would bring in professionals. Whenever we do a play, they would bring in a professional too in that play, another play, they would bring a professional, Eventually, that's how I got where I am. Funny story. One of the professionals that they would bring in to give us notes, the guy Shaka Zulu.
Okay.
So you come here because that class a lot of guys that are working. Anyway, so last year when they called us to come and read for Shaka, even that guy, I was like, where to study, blah, 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 blah. Even look funny enough, you don't know. Actually, you were a very important figure in my training program. You used to come there a lot to give us notes. You might not have known me because I'm not one, but how is it? Wow! So Paul, look, yes. So Paul is my mentor. So Paul is one of the writers. It's one of the writers.
Yeah.
How is it? Actually, today, one of my notes is to call Paul. Look, yes. So my point is, my whole journey has been making sure I get as much knowledge, I train and stick to discipline, dedication, and improving the craft through. Hence now I'm a director and a producer because I didn't want to stay only acting. I thought myself, nah, what else can I do? I always have the drive. What else can I do? What else can I do? So my journey, in short, I took a chance. I listened to my gut, went into the State Theatre. I met Paul Grootboom. Today, the rest is history. I thought.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry. So, and one thing that Paul said during our training, the reason why white people seem like they know how to act is not because Mami Trula, it's because they acting in their own languages. So acting in your own language is a very good thing. That's where it was born with me. Hence, from then on, whatever that I do, I try to TSONGA because it comes from a place where Inti is already. So it was for me to do it was not a mistake. It was something that I taught and made aware.
Dr. HLAMI, I'll let you continue, but hey, I'm bending. Let me just ask this one, because the education career or journey but Fumani is so interesting. And but Fuman, what can you say to a young man or a young lady when it comes to finding themselves? Because yes, you will say, I dropped, but like you say, following your gut, you connected with something that we know you for today. What would be your advice and what can you share that will cast a light so that one finds themselves early? And also speaking to a young person, but also to a parent. I love it when you said, you said to mom, please, you don't tell dad about this, because because it can be frustrating and to realize my son what can you say to both young people and also parents?
Ntaisungula from Batswana, from Batswari's point of view.
Yeah.
As Batswari, it's why these are our kids. We bring them up. We see them. We understand them before they understand themselves. And then we teach them certain lessons. We impart certain stuff within them. That will eventually make them. But if there's one thing that you are never going to do as a parent, is to make that child follow what their core is not about. That one, I don't care who you are not going to convince any child to follow what they don't want to follow. So anyway, as Batswari, let me give you a practical example. My firstborn, look, Arna, 9 years old, he wrote a comic book, a full-fledged comic book, story that was very, I read from the beginning to the end. That story had sense. Maybe like, before even I said to him, can I show you how it's done? Even because remember, I know the rules of how things are supposed to be, how a story is supposed to be structured. Blah,
Yes.
blah, blah, blah. Even though this is how it's done, he cried. Immediately, I said, Fumani, there is you.
Hey, yeah.
This is step back, let him. I did that. 2 months later, he came with a full book. Well written. Of course, for a child at that age, there's drama and all, but it was well written. Age 14, Bulani did some editing by himself, self-taught. By age 6 and 15 or so, I bought him an iPad because I love draw. I want to do cartoons. When I bought him an iPad, he took some picture. Pity, I can't show it here. He took a normal black and white picture on the internet, and then he put color on that picture. Then I knew from the age of 9, I've been observing what kind of person he is, what he wants. By the time I was 16, 17, I called my wife, I called his mother. I'm like, guys, this is what we have. This person, whatever, you can frustrate him. Besides frustrating him, we're going to waste him. Let me design his education. Because this is what we'll do. So the point is this. Before we can see what are their interests if we look. Mold that. What comes after that, it will come. We play a very big role in that. Because we have a tendency of saying, unlike a doctor, you're going to waste money. So that's my advice. We guide them based on what they like. That's my parenting advice. It works, doesn't work, I don't know, but that's what I used. My son is now working with me. That's all he wants to do, nothing else.
Yo, Doc, back to you. And I have Sesirulani Minyai with us here, and then Refilwe, Manana, Makanya. Thank you, family. Thank you for coming through and for being with us. And I love their comments also. You know, some are saying here, oh yeah, I love this one. It's so interesting and motivating, Mr. Shilubana. But you know, here it then says acting in your own language really brings out the best in you. And that's one of our viewers and listeners. Dr. Mi, over to you, my dear sister.
Yes. No, I'm also picking, that lesson, Yabatswari, because as you were sharing, Fumani, when you went to your mother after you dropped out for the second time, I'm just putting myself in the shoes of your mother. If my son or daughter would have come to me, yeah. So just before you gave us that advice, perhaps at the back of my mind, I thought, but your mother, did not do that. She
No,
actually, gave you the money and you continued.
actually, my mother, why she agreed? Naye, she was what she didn't want. So she understood that without even, and of course, this I understood later in life when I grew up. Kurunoma, that's why she didn't much resist, because Naye, she was forced to do what she didn't want. My mother, she was a good tennis player. Tennis court, she was one of the people who was chosen to go play there. But on the day that I found my grandfather said, no, Aui.
Yeah, I hear you.
My mother understood that. She didn't go only with, because problem I passed metric cash. I passed metric very well. The physics, not the math. I got the A, not the B. So that was my problem. So my mother, I think, she observed me for that.
Yeah.
And 23 years later, I'm still enjoying what goes.
Yes. So, to our listeners there, this is very interesting. We're going to take another commercial break because we have to pay the bills. But when we come back, Fumani, now we want to unpack you because I know you're wearing multiple hats. You are an actor, you are a director and producer, you are a businessman. So I want us to take it step by step. Ikai, unpack those onions,
Thank you. If we could go for that commercial break, I lost Dr. HLAMI there. All right, DJ Messi.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With NutriBoost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high-fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. NutriBoost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with NutriBoost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the African Experience. You're with me, Dr. HLAMI. Tonight, I'm broadcasting live from Madagascar. That is why you can't see me. The internet is failing me, but I didn't want to miss this show because we are talking to a powerhouse. We are talking to Mr. Fumani Shilubana. Before we went on the ad break, we were talking about how he was supported, to do what he's very passionate about. But now I want to talk to you, Mr. Fumani, as an actor. we know that a lot of people today, they know you, Giyani, the land of blood. Yeah? But what you have been acting kusukela kwale about 2001. You were both in theater and on TV. So I want you to unpack a little bit, especially your major highlights, some of the shows that you have been to before you come to the current one.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because people didn't follow my journey or follow or not, I don't know. There's a thinking the first time I did acting was on Giyani. And I was saying to someone the other day, actually, Giyani doesn't come close to my best moment in my acting. Giyani's got a special place. Why? Because it was the first time I'm sitting in a show where we spoke. That was very nice for me in that regard. But my best moment in acting, I think it was, I had two. The first one, I did, and I was playing a real person. I was playing Butwa Solomon Mahlangu. And then on the opening night, when we were watching the film, gentleman I was playing sitting next to me. And I'm thinking to myself, this man is reliving this story where his brother was taken in the hand. So that was it was a very big moment. The second moment, someone might think it should be the first moment. It came the following year where I was cast in a movie. And before I was cast in a movie, I auditioned for a different role. Even director, no, I want that kid. I want him. Whatever that happens, he must lose weight first. But I want him in this film.
Okay.
Up there, and then I got a call from my agent, but Marvaro lose weight. No, I will do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And from then on, by Cape Town to meet everyone and do a table read their script from the beginning to the end. Look, if you can, I'm sitting on a chair. There's a chair next to me. The chair next to me on my left and on my right. And of course, in a chair, same way. Casting kwa yifika. Look, yifika. Hello, Charlize Theron. Uthamela kame. Sean Penn uthamela. Now this other Javier Bardem uthamela. So now this, I'm surrounded by 3 Oscar winners.
Wow.
And remember, during my acting career, my acting studying days, our mentor referred us to Sean Penn a lot. Good. We don't have Sean Penn line. So we copied Sean Penn a lot. So for me, in a room with Charlize, with this man, and eventually I went to Sean Penn. Look, funny enough, even though you won't understand this, Mara, when I was studying, we used you as reference. So for the fact that I was able to do that, it was great.
Yeah.
If you shoot a movie,
Yeah, can you imagine?
look, you shoot a movie at the end of that night. So what I normally do when I'm done working, I go to my hotel. Because I need on Zai, I don't normally stay in that group. I don't like parties as well. So what do? I go to my hotel room. One of the ladies calls me, says, Fumani, come downstairs fast. The boss is talking about you. Even Sean Penn, hey, nice job for today. You did very, very good. By the way, how old are you? I think I was like 32, 33. And your height, your age, your weight, you know what? I was talking with my producer here. We think you look good to play O.J. Simpson. You are that good. Since that day, I said to myself, akuna munhu na wun'we la misaveni leyi a nga ta ka mehe acting a ni koti. If an Oscar winner, someone at that level could say, yo, you are that good. For me, that was the best moment in my career. I've done a lot of things. I've traveled the world through acting. That moment for me was the biggest ever.
Yeah. No, I like what you are saying, because sometimes there's a very thin line between kuba u acknowledge what you are good at and talk about it without people thinking you are bragging, bomb and all that. But other people, especially in business, when people are selling their businesses, they promote it. But about promote but in that space, it's okay for people to promote that, but we cannot promote ourselves as brands because people will say, what the bona and all that. But I like what you're saying, because it's the confidence and you know what you are good at. Mara loko usukula, mara you are good. That is why you're an actor. That is why when we see you, we celebrate you, because you are good at what you are doing. Pastor Strike, I'm so excited. To just hear that.
No, that's very true. I think xin'wana lexi hina hi nga na nkingha ya xona ngopfu va ririmi ra hina ra Xitsonga i ku titsongahata. I titsongahata leri ra ku you know hi tiveka endzhaku. But honestly, but Fumani, you're such an inspiration. You know, with my wife, naloko is one of hey, bro, Rich. You know, we have lines that honestly, when you acted and talk of Brarich, you know, it stuck with us, you know. So honestly, when one is good at something, it's important for them first to acknowledge, look, Lord, I thank you, I'm good at this. And then also others to tell him. That is why, Dr. HLAMI, thank you so very much for bringing Good for Money, because we celebrate in the African experience, we celebrate these Africans that are really making us proud, raising the flag of hope for an African child.
No, it's
absolutely.
No, I'm saying it is very important.
Absolutely.
It is very important, Kuri. Kuri, like Pastor Mibla, Kuri, especially we still need to learn to separate emotion and practicality. Because we still have, we still feel like, oh, in Zukano, why I Lela. But if we can separate those things and focus on what do we build as a collective, because whether we like it or not, look, we check out screen time, shower song on TV, especially in the drama space. 23 years later, Kuna put Obed, Kuna put Charles, we've been doing a great job as well. But when we talk about screen time, like the minutes appeared on screen, I'm still the only one, which is a problem. If I'm the one person in the Tsonga community that has the highest screen time, and only screen time, the number of shows collectively done, I've done a lot of shows. I've done SABC 1, SABC 2, SABC 3, ETV, Mzansi Magic, So my point, Kuri, if we can acknowledge, Kuri, we need to move to a point where we put emotion aside and practicality first. We can change this narrative where it's only Fumani, wise men, and that, but actor, whilst there are people with talent who are just lazy to go train, that we can go to the next step. But hope through such platforms we will learn and grow.
Yes, and coming to that, I know when we are having good time on this show, but coming to that, I know that you are not just an actor, you are also a producer, you are a director, but also you are trying to groom, upcoming actors. I want us to tell us why it is important for you to go beyond just an actor, to be a producer and a director, but also I want you to also touch on I think Shiluba Film Studios, where you are actually producing upcoming actors.
Yes. It was Dr. Miles Monroe who said, Kuri, I've that thing, it drives me. Kuri, we find ourselves, Dr. HLAMI, Pastor Strike, I can guarantee you, where you grew up, abarnama prasi, abarnama beans. Ibi papa ko alo, you know, every black person knows it, has that story. Whether you come from Batsonga, Bathosa, wherever any other village, we have that. So what that tells me, Ikuri, we live, we die and go with our knowledge. There is no point. I say to my children, Bulani now he understands better. What I'm working for now is not for you, my boy, it's for your children. That way, we're creating a length of general wealth. And wealth is not only in money, in resource. So it's very important that we train and groom people who are interested, because we can't have Fumani in Sayana, wise men Sayana. It does not make sense. If we want to grow our space, we need to have people who are qualified and understand what they are doing. And also in that, to teach them, listen, you need to involve, you need to be in business. And what do I mean by in business? You need to start a business that is not connected or relied on your acting in Sayana. Because acting thing is so volatile that you will find yourself sucked in. Look, papara. You can't build a house, you can't do that. You can't live your life properly. So those are things that in my mentoring, in helping or trying to teach whoever through my company, National Studios, is that, Corey. I don't want only here. And I don't want people who come here and say they work for me. I don't want employees, man. I want partners. Employees makarata.
Yeah.
Because you'll expect me. I will. So those are things that I'm hopeful that it will come in our space. The fact that TSONGA is not in the mainstream like that is a good thing in hindsight, because we're now able to create our content and own it. They don't own that content. It belongs to the So because that's where Shilubana comes in, film studio. We want to create content, good quality content that can be the level of Netflix, Amazon, whatever. From the business point of view, we own this content. When we own this content, even if it plays 100 years from now, my great, whatever, they're going to benefit from it. Like the Japanese say, you don't plant a tree for yourself to sit under the shade. So that's my approach.
Wow. Pastor Strike, because I'm not able to see what is happening on Facebook, let me give you an opportunity to just acknowledge, some of our listeners that are actually joining online.
Thank you so very much, Dr. HLAMI. We have our loyal listeners and we have new people coming in. Pastor Joelyn going with us. Mama Joan Mawila, thank you so very much. We really appreciate Mkegul for being with us. And of course, Sis Kensan Kosa, she's here. And Sis Kensan says, wow, this is so great. Thank you so much, Honorable Pastor Strike and Dr. HLAMI. I can relate to what he is saying. One of my child my child is not scholastic, but very innovative in his own way. We are supporting him through something, although something it seems like the journey is nowhere. I think Sesi, she's also pointing out, Kuri, it's very much important for us to know. And Butfuman said something, of camera, of course, about what he said to his son, Kuri, "Hey, Muna, from now to age 30, I want you to go all out." And Butfuman, if you can please bring that, because I find it to be very much important, and maybe it's the life that you lived.
Yes, because so I said to him, born, because like I said, I observed my son. What he does. Look, the test. And he makes a lot of mistakes. Right? In all the schools that he went to, it was the same thing. They would complain about, no man, he's smart, Mara. He's smart, Mara. So he passes very well, Mara. You could see he lacks. Attention span in class is a problem. So I said, okay, I'm going to design your course. And here's what I did. Passometric. After it's passometric, because on that animation, you're going to do editing, you're going to do camera, and I get you people who are working in that space. And then they will mentor you. But in the middle of all that, there are these courses, that the 3 months courses, that business management, color accounting, project, and what. You're gonna do those courses. So for the next 12 years, I want you to be experimenting with what you wanna excel in or you're good at. Don't worry about rent. Don't worry about petroleum over. Don't worry about whatever. As long as you in the next 10 years, I will be good. I will fund thing that you do. That way, by the time I go 5 years in whatever that he's chosen to do, he's gonna go to any business, any school, and go enroll for an honors. And the honors, hey, look, say I go 28, 29. He's going to drop everything that he's doing and do an MBA equivalent at that time. When done doing that, that's where Fumani steps back. And
step out. Wow.
Because what's the point? Already, he's very innovative by himself. Already, he breaks by himself. As good as school is for a certain sport, a person like that, making frustrating. We are not a lecturer.
Fumani, like I always say that when we are having fun here in Karwa, I think, Pastor Strike, I think we need to have, the second round of, this. I'm sure, Mr. Fumani, you'll allow us to invite you again because I had so many questions that I wanted to ask you. But before we go, I even skipped the ad break. DJ Mesmita Komela, we only have another 6 minutes to go. But before we go, I won't let you go because I want you to talk about the is it the Frikalan school where you are teaching TSONGA and languages and whatever, because that's it's something very, very, very important. I want you to touch on that, but definitely we're gonna call you again. I'm sure you can allow us because there's so many things that we needed to unpack with you. Yeah.
So Frikaland Schools, it's a school that me and 5 partners, we came together. La journey, I don't know their languages. Why don't we open a school where they will do this thing? So before COVID, I really even COVID by Zisa. So now we've opened a name under a different name. Now it's called Frikaland School, meaning Frikaland School. It actually stands for African languages. Frikaland, African language. So what we do in this particular school, through virtual platform. You don't have to come to us. Wherever you are, and you are taught the language. Yes, for now, it's a matter of it's online, but our goal of what we experience, like Tamakoma Joni, our goal is to go up and have a schooler, a physical school, where you can come and call your child and add their language. Imagine how beautiful this would be. One way, Abla, TSONGA, switching Kashlungu, and it can switch code and switch Chilungu without our TSONGA. Wouldn't that be great? And this has been done before. Whenever Kanisa, they do that. So they is
Yeah.
Wow. Yo. Pastor Strike, you'll allow me, you'll really agree with me that we need to call, Fumani again, or perhaps, because, there are so many things. But maybe before we leave, before we go, I know DJ Messi is going to kill us here. Where can people find you? If people are listening now, they want to know more about the Frikaland, or they want to know more about the Shiluba, a film studio, or any other thing that they want to get in touch with you, where can they find you?
So Frikaland, we are on social media. It's called Frikaland Schools. On our website, there is an emailer admin, I think, at Frikaland School. You send your inquiry email. If you're interested, we'll send you a link where you fill in your details. Same as Shiluba. We are also on social media, and then there's also an email on the website. The biggest mistake that people do when they want to contact me, but at the DM, come on social media, I rarely go to DM, and I rarely go to DMs. Hey, you'll find me. Yes, there's one that I found at the DM, Mara. I miss a lot more. So rather go straight to the emails that are there on the website. You'll get quick help.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Pastor Strike, for actually standing in for Mandla tonight, because I was very worried. In Madagascar, I wasn't sure how the connectivity will be. Then you were there to actually, step in. Thank you so much also for DJ Messi, who always make it happen. But most importantly, thank you so much, Mr. Fumani. We know that you are a very busy person. Just for you to take an hour of your time to spend with us, and you've got a lot. There are so many questions that I had prepared, but we didn't get to ask. But we'll definitely call you again. I hope you will allow us to spend yet another hour with you some other time.
I never say no to anything about song.
Yeah.
As long as it will create a knowledge base and an empowering base, you will find me there.
Dr. HLAMI, most especially when we also talk about fathering, he comes out very, very strong, and we need that. We need it. So we beg you, good Fumani, be available so that we continue learning from you, and also giving our viewers and listeners the opportunity to learn.
Yes. No, thank you so much. Maybe this last minute, what is the final word that you want to say to the listeners?
Yeah, some parting shots, please. Parting shots, especially Kavani Bakaye. Johnson does not necessarily mean we are a university.
Okay.
You can get people who can teach you and mentor you. There's no field that you can go that you will only rely on talent and think talent will carry you. Talent is just one out of the 10 things that are needed. So that's my parting shot. If you're interested, invest your time, invest your resources, and learn and improve on that craft. Trust me, it will take you far.
Wow. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have time for tonight. Thank you. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. God bless. Thank you.
24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.